Here's my review of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 2 and 3 review. I thought that these were some pretty solid episodes. I think that this show is getting better as it goes on. And, we got to talk about, there's a lot of stuff that happens in these two episodes. So I got a lot to cover here. As for episode 2, we see a lot of stuff, including Matt and Karen are investigating all the stuff that's going on at the port. And we could kind of see how everything there is just carefully manipulated to make Fisk look better. And it's really obvious, a lot of the metaphors in this episode too as well, where there's a lot of raids by the anti-vigilante task force. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I think that what really makes this episode good is kind of what it sets up for episode 3. Towards the end of episode 2, we realize that Karen has kidnapped one of the AVTF members, and it really sets up a lot of great stuff for episode 3 with them interrogating this guy. Him telling people, it's like, dude, I'm just forced to do this. Like, Kingpin is a psychopath, which we all know. But I just thought, the whole interrogation was great. And I also love how when Matt is interrogating him, he's like, you're lying. Even though he knows that he's telling the truth. And it's just great. Little moments like that are just what make Daredevil such a great character. And I think that the whole trial with Jack Duquesne, a.k.a. the Swordsman, was really good. He was honestly a character that I really liked in Hawkeye. And you could see how Kirsten McDuffie is trying to defend him. And even though he is, still found guilty, you kind of know that he's not really a bad guy. Jack is such a fun character in this show, and I loved him in Hawkeye as well. And he's really fascinating because I think he did such a turnaround, through Hawkeye and into the show of him being starting off as, mysterious villainish character, and then you realize that he's actually just a pretty good guy. I just really like this character, and the actor does a great job here. But I really think that this, it really shows, this particular trial is so necessary to show that even though we see the, evidence that he is innocent and is a good person, we know he's still found guilty just because of Fisk's anti-vigilante task force. And it shows the corruption throughout the system, and I thought it was just done very well. And I think the whole action sequence from these cages that all the vigilantes are kept in was great. This is a whole long one shot of Daredevil breaking out all of these people that Fisk put in the cages. It just reminds you of classic Netflix Daredevil, and I really enjoyed this scene. It had such cool action. It was so entertaining. Just a really great scene. And like I said, it's just classic Daredevil, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. From the editing to the action, it's awesome. And then we get some reveals in here where we find out that the imposter Kingpin is BB Urich. Which, okay, that's pretty interesting. And I can kind of see what they're doing here. I think it's pretty good. We got to talk about Bullseye. I mean, every scene that Bullseye is in is just great. It's so awesome. Bullseye is one of my favorite characters, and even though he's not really in this episode a whole lot, for when he is in it, he just steals the show. He's one of my favorite characters on this show. So I think that from the great action sequence to also the way that this episode ends, sets up a lot of interesting things. And it's pretty obvious that season 2 is doing a lot of basically fixer-upper work from all the damage that them not originally doing what they wanted to do with the first season, and then changing their mind, and then fixing it, making a Frankenstein's monster, and then with season 2, they still got to patch some things up. But I still think that for what it is, these episodes, I think, are so far pretty good. I think they got some really solid action. I really love these characters, and they're still good. Like I said, there's a lot of great action. The whole prison break scene is just a great scene. It's great. So yeah, overall, I thought that these two episodes were pretty good. I'm excited it'll be episode 4 coming out tomorrow. I'm excited for it. And like I said, even though this show is not as good as the original show, And I think that this show has a lot of problems. This season's still pretty rocky. I'm still enjoying it just because, I mean, hey, I love Daredevil. I love Kingpin. And they're dynamic. They're like characters in their stories. They're still so fascinating. They're still great characters. And there were some pretty solid episodes. These were some pretty solid episodes, even though like some other stuff that's going on with like Kingpin's assistant character. I don't even remember his name. It's just not Buck, but the other kid. He's just not nearly as fascinating. Like his connection to BB Urich. It's okay. Like he's not that great, but could be worse. But overall, I think these are some pretty solid episodes.